Hey, this is Bruno Souza here for Code for Life, and today I'm here in Houston, Texas, and I'm actually gonna spend some time answering the questions, right, that you sent me. There's a lot of questions that you guys sent me, and I'm gonna answer them. So right now, I'm gonna talk about three things that are very important and kind of related. I'm gonna talk about open source. I'm gonna talk about the importance of side projects, of pet projects, and I'm gonna talk about if it's valid to be a developer right now. And so I'm going to start with that. Last question is from Magnum, and Magnum sent me, hi Bruno, do you think it's interesting to become a developer in this moment that the market seems to be saturated with software developers or professionals of development? And yes, Magnum, yes it is. It's we are working right now on this absolutely amazing career, right? Software development. It's a creative career. It's what you need. You have all the tools that you need. There's a lot of information out there. It's a career that allows you to work for anything, any kind of things. Anything the world has software, right? If you want to work for entertainment, if you want to work for healthcare, if you want to work for finance, if you want to work for for crazy things like go out to Mars, right? The Mars missions need software, right? Everything needs software, right? So it's an amazing career to be. And there's this impression that we have, the market has a whole lot of developers, and there's so many developers that the prices and the salaries are actually going down because there's so many people in the market and all that. So that is not true. Right? Yes, there are a lot of developers coming in the market. There's a lot of people coming in. There's a lot of people interested in this, because it's a high-paid, it's a creative career, as I said. There's all kinds of opportunity in it. But it's not true that the market's saturated. The thing is, the market is desperately needing good developers. That is what the market needs, desperately. Right, we see companies after company after company asking us, I have 10 positions, I have 30 positions, I have 20 positions. There's a company the other day they had 300 positions for software developers, right? And everyone is looking for, everyone's trying to get good people, but there's not enough good people out there. Seriously, right? Well, maybe you can say there's enough developers to do all of these, yes, and I think there is. We don't need a whole lot of developers to do the things that we do, but we don't have enough good people. So, Magnum, if you want to join this career, join it, but join committed to be a great developer, committed to actually do the work, committed to actually be a professional, right? And do the things they need to do. That's why we're having all this career discussion here, so you can actually get and improve your career. So on here today, I'm going to talk about two things that you can do to actually become a great professional, become someone that's actually the market wants to work, right? So one of them is, should I have side projects? And there was a question asked by Everton, right? So Everton sent me that he's been working for Java for several years, and he realized there's so many things that he needs to explore deeply. And so he decided, he said that to keep up with everything, I read an article about the importance of pet projects or side projects and started my own pet project. It's very, very good. So congratulations, Everton, because yes, working on your side project is an amazing, really, really important thing. And then it says, if you're keen, I'd love to hear ideas around how personal projects, simple or not, could help developers to improve their skills. And yes, Everton, you hit the exactly right thing. The whole idea for you to become a great developer, right? The thing that Magnum needs to be a great developer, you have to improve your development skills. So software development is not about knowledge, right? We're going to talk, actually there's another question about knowledge we're not going to answer today, we're going to answer in the next video. But developers are fascinated, obsessed with knowledge, and it's not about knowledge. Right? You want to be a great developer? What you need to do is that you need, exactly what Everton said here, you need to improve your skills. You need to improve your development skills. And for you to improve development skills, there's just one way to improve skills. It's not reading books. It's not watching presentations. It's not watching videos like this on YouTube. It's not. The only way for you to improve your skills is doing projects, actually going out and doing things. So yes, it's extremely important. Not just a great idea, but it's extremely important that you have your side projects, right? That you experiment with things, that you want to work with great ideas. They want to work we want to learn new technologies. All of those things. It's extremely important that you work with those things, right? Because once you work with those things, you're really going to actually become a great developer, right? So a pet project, it's an amazing way. I know a side project is an amazing way to do this. It's not the only way, but it's a great way of doing this. So then you might ask, but I don't have the time. I have family. I am doing other things. How can I even be doing this side projects? Okay, so that's another video because there is a question about this, right? So right now, let's just focus. Yes, it is really important to do side projects because that's when you do things. That's when you go and you do things, right? So now that you know that's important, now that you know that it's a great career, that you have to be a great developer, you know that doing side projects is important, right? What is a great way for you to actually doing side projects? Or maybe not so side, right? Maybe those are the projects that have to do with your work, is go work on open source, right? So that is the other question that I got here. And, let me see here. I kind of miss it here. Oops. Okay, so, oh, come on. I missed the question here. All right. Okay, so here is from Gerson. And so Gerson says that, he's starting to work with Java right now. He's very, very happy that he watches some talks and some videos. And then he talked about that I mentioned that for beginners, and not only for beginners, Gerson, one of the biggest possibilities to increase experience is participating in open source projects. So Gerson, so yes, it is. Gerson, working on open source projects is a great way for you to improve your experience, to improve your skills, right? To actually, get to know people, learn interesting technologies, get you work on a collaborative process and collaborative effort. So that's really, really good. So then he says, can you suggest to me some open source projects, right? And maybe tell me, what kind of knowledge should I get, right, to become a Java man, right? Well, thanks for the compliment here. But the thing is, Gerson, for you to work on an open source project, the first thing is what interests you. It's very hard for me to tell you what kind of examples of projects you should work on, because there is thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of open source projects out there, right? And you can get to participate in any one of them. You can join any open source project that you want. But the thing is, for you to join an open source project, the first thing is it has to be valid for you, right? It has to make sense for you. So just what kind of things do you like? Are you interested in database? Are you interested in application server? Are you interested in server side? Client side? Are you interested in UI? What kind of things are you interested in, right? You should work on projects that advance your career. So you have to think about what kind of things you want to do in your career. Where do you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, right? It doesn't matter if you're beginning or if you're advanced, right? You should have to think about what is the thing that you want. Right? What is the thing? Maybe this open source project, you're gonna have to work on it as a side project, right? Like the previous question. If it's gonna be a side project, it's better be something that you love to do, right? Because you're not gonna do a side project that's boring, that is not something about the thing that you like, right? So so you choose an open source project that has to do with something that you like. But maybe you don't want to work as a side project, right? Maybe you want to get better, but you want to work with something that your company is working on. So that actually opens another big opportunity, because if you participate on open source projects and that's something that your company uses, for example, so maybe you can actually have time, your working time, to work on a side project. It's not a side project anymore because it's a cool project, it's an open source project, but it has all to do with your work. Oh, how do I do this? Well, take a look at the open source tools that your company uses, right? See what kind of things that your company needs to improve. Right, and then start to participate on those projects, because then you can actually have things that you're doing on your day job, and you can, like 1 hour a day, you can actually work for an open source project because that's something that's important for your company, right? So participate in open source projects is an amazing way. So the thing that I like to say that you have to get on this positive spiral loop for your career, right? So you work on an interesting project. Because you work on an interesting project, you become a better developer. And because you are a better developer, you work on more interesting projects. And because you work on more interesting projects, you become a better developer. And because you're a better developer, you work on more interesting projects. So that is the tornado of improvement that you should get in your career. But to be part of this tornado thing, there's two things you can do, right? You can become a better developer, so you get to work on an interesting project, or you can start working on an interesting project so you can become a better developer. So open source is a great way, it's an amazing way to immediately, today, right now, right when this video ends, you can start to work on an open source project, and that will immediately get you to work on an interesting project. And by working on an open source project, by working on an interesting project, you're going to be a better developer because you're going to learn new skills. You're going to learn new things that you want to do. So you're going to be a better developer. You're going to be a developer that's more that the market is interested in more, and then then you're going to be able to actually work on more interesting and better paying jobs, for example, right? So all those three things are all connected. Yes, work on open source projects either as a side project or your company project. That's extremely important. Side projects, interesting projects are exactly what the things that are going to make you grow. And yes, it is extremely it's one of the best careers out there. There's software development. It's amazing, right? It's one of the best careers out there because you can work with anything that you want in any field, right? So it's not about software development by itself. Think about the things that you love to do. Think about the things that you want to work on, and use software development as a way to get where you want. Okay, all right. So I'm going to continue answering more questions. And there's lots of things that's still coming on. I'm going to talk about how arrange your time. I'm going to talk about there's all the questions here about how you can keep up with so many technologies changing. How you consistently improve. I'm going to talk about all of these. So keep watching. Thanks a lot.